I'm not saying it because you're not 30 yet. I have 1 more week to turn 30 as well, and I felt absolutely terrible when I woke up, and I need to change something about it because it's undeniable. I'm turning 30 and I need to feel different about this, and I'm going to take you along this journey of feeling better turning 30. The question is, do we unlock a new trophy because we turn a certain age, or do we get a better skincare routine? Should we celebrate a big party with a lot of people, or should we go to therapy? I'm not sure. I just know I need to feel better about turning 30 because I'm low-key freaking out. I could pretend that I'm all fine and it's just a number, age is just a number. I can admit that I just don't feel well about turning 30. I just don't, and I just need to change that because it's gonna happen. If I wanted to or not. There has to be a way. There has to be a way to feel great about turning 30. I know there is, and I'm gonna figure it out with you. When I woke up this morning, I felt so much anxiety because I have 1 more week until I turn 30. I'm somehow feeling I'm not there where I should be. It's impossible for me to get to where I want to be, where I thought I was gonna be at 30 in a week. I'm not gonna magically find a husband in a week. So many things that I thought I was gonna have at 30 that I'm not gonna be able to do in a week, and so I need to change my mind around it, or need to figure out what I can do on my end, things I can control. I wish I could just ignore, but I can't. I think the biggest struggle I have with turning 30 is that when I was 25, I was a lot closer to what I thought I was gonna hit at 30 than I am right now, because I backtracked so bad. I fell back so bad that I'm just not feeling like I feel like not even progressing. I felt like I was going backwards. I wasn't even going towards what you're supposed to hit with 30. I was going backwards. I used to have a great career. I used to have amazing friends. I used to have stable relationship in some way, I guess. And I was pregnant, and I had all these things that kind of everyone wants to have when they're 30, or assume, or maybe it's just me thinking that, I don't know, that's the goal you're supposed to be getting closer when you hit 30. I mean, there's sayings, people like, oh, they're just gonna marry my best friend if I don't find anyone by 30. At 26, I got done pregnant via email. I lost my home that I owned. I lost my dog. I lost basically all my friends. And I moved back. I lost my environment. I had to move back to Germany from Hawaii, and I was living with my parents in my old kids' room, about to be a solo parent. And financially completely took a hit. I was in such a bad shape. I had to quit my business. This morning when I woke up, I felt so much anxiety because I was like, this happened two and a half years ago. And when all this happened, I was like, oh, you know what? I'll be fine. I just, told myself I'm gonna be fine. And I have 3 more years until I turn 30 and I can rebuild. And at that point, I'll be all set and done. And here I am. I didn't rebuild at all. I didn't. And so that's something I just realized this morning, and I had this major anxiety attack because I was like, wait a minute, I don't have an amazing, huge friend group. I don't have an amazing job. I'm not financially there where I used to be. I am a solo parent. I'm not dating anyone. So a husband is very far away from me. I don't do any of these things that I thought I would have rebuilt by now, which I didn't. I listened to a podcast this morning, and they were talking about how you can't just cherry pick the things that you want from someone else and not take all of it. And I realized, wow, that's so true, because if I look at other people, they seem to have amazing relationships. They seem to have kids, multiple kids. They seem to have an amazing career by 30. They seem to have all these things. You're like, wow, I want this. I want, for example, I want the kids part. I want the marriage part. I want the house part. I want the finance part. But then it's not a thing like a la carte where you just choose the best things from people. You have to take it all. And that's such a good perspective to look at it, because you realize, would you take that terrible childhood if it meant that you have an amazing relationship now, that you have a husband now? Would you take their looks? Would you take their mind? Would you take their body? Would you take their struggles, their terrible in-laws? I mean, there's so many things where I was like, no, I wouldn't. And I think that's something that we all need to remind ourselves, that you don't know what this person might went through to get there. And also to remember that when you do get to the point, it's not guaranteed. I lost everything. I lost literally everything. Was not on my bingo card, like losing literally everything. It was just such a wipeout on me. If you look at someone right now and be like, wow, they're married, they might be divorced tomorrow. If they have an amazing job, they might lose a job tomorrow. It's not a guarantee. Nothing is forever, in a sense that it's always a guarantee that things will be the same, because if you look at my example, I lost it all and I had it all. And if you look at a friend has this amazing career, who says that they're not going to lose a career tomorrow? And it's not like I want this to be a Debbie Downer video at all. I don't want it to be like, oh, you're gonna lose everything if you get it, because certainly it's not the case in every scenario. But just because people have it doesn't mean they're gonna keep it. It doesn't mean they're gonna have the consistency in every aspect of their life, because things go away. That helped me soothe the anxiety so much, because you're constantly rebuilding an age. It's not gonna make it stop building. It's not like, okay, at 30 now it's pause. Now we're gonna keep working from where we're at. It means like you can still have insane setbacks in your life that you have to rebuild from. And just because someone in your friend group has everything you seem like you want and you're about to hit 30 and you don't, it doesn't really mean anything. There's still time. It took me 3 years and now I have my own place. Super nice. I literally moved in this week. That's insane. I lived in my kid's bedroom. It was like so tiny with my daughter for the first 3 years of her life. And I'm super grateful because my parents took me in, but it took me 3 freaking years to have my own place. 3 years. And I used to have a whole house and now I have an apartment, and this is so beautiful, I can't complain in any form or way, but it's just different ways of rebuilding yourself that are not defined by age, I guess. I don't know if it's embarrassing, but I don't have a lot of friends. And the friends that I still have, they live in Hawaii, so they're not gonna come to my birthday. Shame on you. No, just kidding. The ones that I made in Germany, that's so little. Not to say that I'm not grateful for the ones I do have, but I don't have this best friend that I used to have. I don't have this genuine bestie I had for years. And I think that's kind of a hard one, and I didn't make a new bestie. I just didn't have the time. I was busy with my daughter, but the time I did have, I wasn't putting effort into trying to go to places to make friends. So that's totally on me. I should have done that. Friendsless, almost 30-year-old. What are you gonna do for your birthday? I'm not gonna put myself in a position where I feel like no one is coming. I'm not gonna make a party where it's just my family arriving, which is totally fine to do that, but I just know it would give me anxiety. So I'm not gonna do that. So what am I doing? I'm going on a trip. I'm gonna take myself out of the situation, putting things back into my control, and I'm gonna go snowboarding. I mean, that is freaking amazing. I haven't been snowboarding in years, and that is my hobby since I'm very young. Since I was 3, I started snowboarding. My dad was pretty cool. He put me on a snowboard. And so I'm gonna do the same with my daughter. My daughter's gonna be a snowboarder or skier, whatever she likes. But I'm super excited because this baby is back. She's back. She's gonna be back in action, and I'm super excited about to take her on a little trip. Can you imagine my little girl? She's gonna be on a snowboard. That's gonna be so darn cute. Like, I cannot. That's the biggest birthday gift, obviously, I could give, just going snowboarding with my daughter. It's like the coolest thing ever. I'm so excited. So if you feel like you don't have friends, go on a trip. I know it's so easy to say, and maybe that's ignorant because it costs money to go on a trip, but if you can make it work to afford it, go somewhere. It doesn't need to be the craziest place, obviously. Go on a solo trip. Go a trip with your daughter, go a trip with your son, go a trip with your one friend, be with your boyfriend, or just go alone. Like, don't rot at home on your birthday. That's what I'm trying to say, because I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna rot at home. I'm not gonna sit here feeling like turning big 3-0 and I'm not having a giant party as I thought I was gonna have in Hawaii. Okay, stop complaining. I'm super grateful. I'm excited to go. And I also wanna show you something which I got, which is like light up my day. I got matching ski pants for my daughter and I. I mean, come on. I'm so excited. I know these are super Waldorfian. I got matching PJs for my daughter and I. And so that's the biggest birthday gift. On my birthday, I'm gonna wake up, gonna put these on, go snowboarding. Best day ever. So I'm gonna pack now. And I'll see you soon. Also, I'm trying to think about things that make it good not having a partner, because when I just designed this kitchen, actually one of the workers here was like, damn, this looks so nice. I knew it was done by a woman. I was like, yeah. If it would have been a man, we would have probably had like a billion weird stuff in here. Probably like 20 crystals. I'm not a crystal lady, I just like the way they look. I have my blender here. Pink, it's all pink actually. I want to show you. Everything in my kitchen right now is pink because no one is complaining about color pink because it's a girly household. I have pink cups. That would have never been possible. Maybe with the right man, but to be really honest, it's just so positive getting the stuff that you want without having to ask anybody. Be like, do you like those plates? Do you like a lamp on the thing? Do you like pink stuff? Do you like the crystals? Do you like this stuff? You just do it. You're on your own. No one is Debbie Downing your decor. So that's a positive. So if you don't have a boyfriend, if you don't have a husband, no one is fucking yanking in your ear, telling you to do stuff that you get annoyed by. I seem like a nutcase in this scenario, I'm realizing. Actually, and you know what? That's the problem, because I'm such a people pleaser. If my husband would be like, I used to be such a people pleaser. I would be like, oh, let's get black plates because my favorite color. I would be like, let's do black plates. And I think that's also something I'm learning, that I'm so grateful because I haven't been in a relationship. I haven't been dating. I haven't been doing any of that. I just know that the next person I let in my life is not going to be turning over everything I like. I used to be just like, sure, let's do it your way because I didn't want conflict. And now I'm like, no, I like it this way. So maybe we can come to a compromise and make it in a way that we both feel comfortable. And it's not me budging all the way to the corner so you feel fine. And I think that's something that you only learn if you're alone for a long time, because you're like, no, I'm not going to put up with stuff like that anymore. I used to put up with the wildest stuff. Wild. And now I just know I can, if someone were to come in my life, I can just be more confident in saying I like it differently. And so, yeah, that's beautiful. If you don't have anyone, you can do whatever you want. You should always be able to do whatever you want, but you don't have to ask for permission. You don't have to make any compromises. You can just do it the way you want it. And if someone comes along your way, you're going to be like, you know what? I'm going to be a stronger person. I know what I want. And maybe you can make some adjustments and we can come to a compromise. But it's not like you people pleasing your way through it, because I know a lot of people are, if they've been in long-term relationships, they're just like, oh, I don't want conflict. I don't want this. I don't want to have another fight. And now you just know that you deserve certain things, and the right man will treat you right, and the right man will also accept your pink dishes. And if he doesn't, he can just go somewhere else. Actually, I take it back. There's a lot of men that have great taste, because I did get this as a gift, and that was from a man. And he has great taste because that's really funny and cute. And so actually does come in my little shelf because it deserves a spot. So I'm just correcting myself here real quick. I have a few more days left, and when you start hitting a certain age, you also start having weird hobbies. I started knitting, and I'm making actually a sweater. So this is the front piece. Gonna be like this, and then I'm gonna have another making the back now, and then the arms. But anyways, I think it goes without saying that when you're about to hit 30, I think you probably heard a million times that you shouldn't compare yourself to others, because comparison is the thief of joy. Obviously, it's something that you can say super easily, be like, yep, I'm not gonna compare myself to others, but to actually do it is a lot harder. It is a lot more challenging to do. And obviously social media is the number one place where we compare ourselves. Don't blame you if you see one more engagement post or one more announcement of pregnancy or one more opportunity that you feel like you're missing out on and you're about to lose it. Because I feel you, sometimes when I go on social media, you just get bombarded with people's highlights. And you just feel behind in every aspect of your life. And that can be annoying. That can be really annoying. I think it's too easy to just say, yeah, then just get off social media, because a lot of our lives is, or a lot of life is online these days. But I just want you to remember that if you feel behind with the current situation, if you feel behind in life in many aspects, just know that social media is such a highlight reel. Most people do not show their struggles online. They don't. In fact, when I did try to show the struggles I was having, I got a lot of people saying like, oh, cry for help, and just, you're trying to grab attention. I'm like, well, I'm just sharing, I'm done pregnant, I'm super lonely. Like, I don't know, I'm just trying to connect. And actually it did get me a lot of women reach out to me, which was super nice. And so you can't really make it right. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm going back to just showing the good stuff, because apparently if you show your struggles, people are gonna also hate on you. And in fact, that got me sued. Crazy, absolutely crazy. It never went anywhere. It just was me losing a lot of money for defending something that was obvious, because I never talk about other people, always talked about myself and what I was going through. But that's besides the point. What I'm trying to say is, if you feel like behind in life, just know people are really showing only the good parts. They're not showing the hard parts. They're not showing, barely ever do you see like a real vulnerable post about someone, because it's also not fun to share online that you're not doing well, because most people who are not doing well, they don't want the pity from other people. Like when I was sharing that I wasn't doing so well, it wasn't like me saying, hey, I didn't want to go on and be like, oh, I'm not doing well. I was just like, hey, I'm alone and I'm pregnant. What the hell am I gonna do? And I think I was just trying to get other women to tell me that I'm gonna be fine. And so many people did, which was amazing. But no one really likes to go online and just share that they're not doing well in some sort part of their life. Especially if you do think about things that are happening in your family or with friends, you just know that, whoops, when you have a friend, they call you and say like, oh my God, my boyfriend did this, or like, oh my God, my friend did this, or can you believe this happened? How often of these times that you do have those conversations with friends, do they post that online? Barely ever. And so just know that when you feel behind in life, just know most people don't share their real life online, which is fine. They show the good parts, and that's just so very little. In most people's lives, a lot of people do struggle. A lot of people do have a lot of things going on, and you can't blame them when they have something positive happening to them that they go online and just be like, damn, I got engaged. Yeah, I'm so excited. But no one goes online and be like, hey, my boss is just such a hate my job. Most people don't do that. And a lot of people probably feel that on a daily basis. I think that helps me a little bit also with my anxiety, because I just constantly have to remind myself, like, this is a highlight reel. This is not what everyone is actually going through in their real life. It's just to relax, because I do open my Instagram sometimes and I see a billion people getting engaged, a billion people having amazing things going on. It's okay, we don't need to feel a certain way about it. We just maybe need to limit our access to being exposed to those things if we feel a little bit down. So if you're not feeling too great, don't go on Instagram. I actually just got back from work, and it really infuriated me today because someone told me, oh my gosh, you have it so good. You only work part-time. You're gonna be home. Oh, I want this life, so easy. And I was like, well, I have to go back, rush home, pick up my daughter from kindergarten. He was like, oh, that's so easy. And I almost lost my because I was like, you know what? While you're building your career, while you're going ahead of a time, making double the amount of money or 3 times as much as I'm making, you think I'm just gonna go home and just do nothing with my kid. And it's just so funny, because I think some people who don't have kids don't understand what it actually takes and how much effort goes into it, and how much energy and time and how many setbacks you have to do in order to do that. And obviously every mother would agree that they're happily doing it because they would do everything for their child. Something positive I'm recognizing about turning 30 is that I'm not as frustrated anymore. I think I got more relaxed. I'm like, okay, you think that? That's fine. I'm not gonna start a whole educational base on why you're in the wrong. Maybe he isn't in the wrong, maybe it's just me thinking he's in the wrong, but I think that's a positive part about turning 30. I'm realizing that you don't get bothered as bad anymore. You're like, you think that? Oh, cool. You'll watch and learn. No, just kidding. But I think really, I think a few years ago, I would have been way more vocal about trying to educate someone, and I feel like I got a lot more unbothered in the last few years, and I think it also comes with age. And that's what I always loved about my dad. When stuff happened, I would just be like, oh my God. And you'd be like, oh, it's gonna be fine. I'm like, how are you so calm? I think it comes with age. So I hope that makes you feel better, because when you turn 30, you're gonna be less bothered. Less things stress you out anymore. You don't care. You really stop caring on a lot of things, how people look at you, how people judge you, how you look. That's a good thing. I love that. Really decreased anxiety. This is so nice. Like no one's here. The whole thing for myself. And a book, finally. I bought this like 6 months ago. I finally have some time to start reading this, so I hope it's a good one. I'm turning 30 tomorrow. I'm kind of scared, but also I think I feel a lot better. Let's give it a shot. Well, I guess it happened. I'm 30, and I woke up and put, as I said, my matching suit with my daughter on, and I'm feeling fine. Don't feel any different, surprise, surprise, but actually I realized I feel so much better now than a week ago. I've come to terms with so many things, and I think I've seen so many positive aspects that I thought were not good in my life, and I'm just through really reflecting on everything that I've gotten so far, and yeah, I'm pretty happy. I'm right now at a place where it's a family resort, so there's a lot of families, and yesterday I caught myself just looking at this other table, and I saw this like picture perfect family, and I was like, I wasn't that jealous. I was happy for them, and I was like, wow, one day I will have that. Maybe not at 30, but maybe at 31 or 35, I don't know. So I used to get very jealous about that. I used to feel really envious and sad. And this morning, woke up and felt like so grateful, and not to be cheesy, and there's so many things I obviously have to be grateful for, but I just didn't feel any resentment. And I know that's probably awful, because the fact that I do feel resentful is probably, or used to feel resentful is probably not a good trait to have, but I did feel sad. Yeah, I do see that I have an amazing family. And I'm super happy because my brother's coming today, which is super exciting. We're gonna go snowboarding, and I'm excited for my birthday today, which it's so rare for me to say, because the last few years I didn't like my birthdays, and now I feel like I'm gonna have a really nice birthday, which is amazing. Anyways, I'm gonna go get breakfast now. Everyone else is already downstairs, but I thought I'm just gonna give a little update on how I feel and how it's like to feel 30. So just remember, when you wake up on your 30th, you're not gonna feel any different in a bad way. You're probably gonna feel good in a good way, so you should look forward to that. Birthday could not be better, because look at that. Look at these alpacas. I've always been grateful for the life I've been given and every opportunity that I was allowed to take. But I think we all sometimes need a reminder that even if things are not going our way, we have so much things we can't control. And even if it means showing gratitude for the things that we already accomplished and looking back instead of looking in the future and seeing this mountain of things you are apparently missing, we can look back and see what we have all accomplished in our life, and we have so many reasons to be thankful and proud of. See? Come here. My birthday has been so nice so far, and I just went to the ski store to get my daughter's shoes. I mean, are these so tiny? I don't know, for some of you who might know, my daughter's actual name is Lila, which is the color purple in German. So she got purple skis. These are so tiny. These are so tiny, and her helmet. I'm just so excited for her to wear these. This is so adorable. I can't. I'm so excited to go for a ski with her. I'm snowboarding, so I'm not too sure how this is gonna work out. I might have to get on skis to make sure I can help her, but my brother will be there as well, who's a good skier. But I'm so excited. I was literally losing it when he was bringing me those. They look so big on this, but they're so tiny. I'm so excited. She doesn't like heavy shoes, so these are super heavy, so I hope she's gonna be okay with putting these on. Damn, this is so adorable. Sometimes I'm like, so cute. She's gonna look very cute, I know that. So far, I have a really nice birthday. And the weather's been so nice. And I'm feeling really lucky today. Yeah. Happy birthday. Hope you feel better.